All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen, and the weekend is upon us very, very soon. The matches are cranking up, and up next is Man United. It's going to be quite a clash. Obviously, Man United are in immense trouble, not just form-wise, manager-wise, whole heap of things happening. Obviously, Ralf Rangnick now, some conversations around that. But before we get into all of that, we've got Rob here, who's a massive supporter of the channel, has his own sort of affiliation with It's a Football Thing podcast with the boys, Scott and RJ. You guys know them from Monday shows that we have down on the Football Crew. Rob does the shows with them on their YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out in the description below. All the links and everything's available. And make sure you give Rob a follow as well. He's a Man United fan, top-notch Man United fan. As you can see, he's got the Man United jersey on. He's got the background Man United. This guy lives and breathes Man United. And obviously, he's a bit of an expert with Juve as well. He follows Juve. So make sure you follow him on Twitter. And he's not going to disappoint you one bit. But Rob, my man, how you doing?
Look, mate, thanks for the kind words. And it's nice to be back on your show, mate. And I'm looking forward to the conversation. Maybe not as much as I'm looking forward to the game, obviously with our form, but definitely looking forward to talking football.
Look, man, I'm going to be honest with you, Rob. We have to slap you guys. We have to. I know it sounds bad for you, but this is the first time I'm moving into a match against Man United where I feel you guys are so distraught. You guys are so broken. If we don't batter you guys, Liverpool's battered you. Man City's toyed with you guys. Watford absolutely out-muscled you guys. Do you know what I mean? Leicester, who we pumped, not that last week or something like that. Last weekend, actually. Yeah. I feel like this is a game at Stamford Bridge. We need to do the needful. We need to take care of business. Let's start from there, and then we'll work our way with the Ole Gunnar Solskjær and all of that. How are you feeling about this upcoming match? Honest opinion as a Man United fan, how are you actually feeling moving into this match?
I am dreading it. And you know me, I'll lay it out how it is. I'll call it how it is. I'm not looking forward to this match. Unfortunately, out of all the fan bases, most of my friends or a lot of my friends are Chelsea fans. So this is the worst game of the year for me. And it could have come at an even worse point, considering our form. Like I said, the whole managerial situation we're under. I'm not looking forward to it at all, man. There's for numerous reasons, like players injured. Again, our form. Our center, Harry Maguire, look, I don't know if that's a positive or not that Harry Maguire is suspended for this.
I think that's advantage, Man United.
I know. I think that's an advantage for us. But look, there's just nothing going for our way at the moment. And you guys are complete opposite end of the scale. Yeah. Flying high, scoring goals, not conceding any goals. There's not much not going for you guys. Complete opposite for us.
Wow. So for you, Rob, is it going to be a total surprise for you if you were to get some sort of points in this, like a draw or something, or you're expecting that this is probably
I'll take a draw right now. But if, like I said, as I said on our show last night, my prediction was 2-0. It could be 3 or 4. And that's, like I said, people are saying, oh, you can't come into this match negative. I'm only basing off our season. Even when we did get a few wins at the start of the season, besides that Leeds game and maybe the Newcastle one, a lot of our games have been like Moments FC, as we've been named, or we've just got over the line, or we've had a lucky.
Let's be honest, the Newcastle one as well, Rob.
Newcastle, when that was a draw, and then until we kind of hit our straps later on, mate, they really gave us a fight. Alan to Maximum, he really gave us a bother that day. But like I said, we had the 1-0 against Wolves. We had the lucky part with the West Ham when we had the saved penalty in the last second.
Yes.
So look, it could have been in a lot worse of a situation. But look, I'm trying to take some positive out. We have finally obviously let Ole go, which is about a month too late. And look, a lot of people like after the win we just had, which was a really good. I said it was a great result.
By the way, I heard like Villarreal should have been ahead. That's what a lot of people are saying. Like they really should have.
50-50 call. That one, it wasn't a bad game. They pretty much dominated the first half, and I think just after the 60th minute mark, we really woke up and obviously, like we capitalized on a mistake. We pressed them high, forced a mistake. Obviously, Ronaldo got a little lob off the keeper. But that's with this United. When we score the first goal, they've got the confidence to go out and try and score again.
Yeah.
Or they've got the confidence to say, hey, if you guys want a result, they're going to have to open up. They're going to have to give us space. And that's where we do our best work. The bad thing is we've been just leaking goals like a sieve. And every time we concede, I have no confidence in overturning the score. If we're lucky, maybe a draw. And like I said, against you guys this weekend, if we concede first, that's where I'll be really worried.
It's game over. It's game over if we concede first.
It will be.
Now, look, there's a lot of things that you've mentioned here, which we're going to touch on, especially the factor that you said that Man United, it somewhat feels like it's in their DNA at the moment. If you score first, it's perfect scenario for you where you can sort of maintain your position, allow for the opposition to come, and then you can counter and break very quickly with your pacey players. And then obviously Ronaldo is there to mop things up and score, right? But before we get into all of that, let's go back from the start of this season. Obviously, euphoria for the fan base. Rafael Varane, Jadon Sancho, big dog Cristiano Ronaldo back. I mean, I remember, Rob, you were buzzing. You're like, Man United, it's back, baby. We are back.
Well, why wouldn't I? With a window like that, we came second last year. We were pretty consistent. We just finished breaking a record for the most away games. Like I said, and to be backed, like I said, with the players you just named, why wouldn't I be excited for a title challenge finally after all these years? Like, again, Rafael Varane, multiple Champions League winner, and someone that we really thought was, look, when he has played, he's been great for us. So I can't just put the defense on him. The defense in general has been terrible. But when he has played, unfortunately, he's injured now. He has been really good and calm for us. Yeah. Jadon Sancho, mate, we've been chasing this kid for 2 years. When we finally signed him, buzzing. What happens? He gets benched for most of the first few games, and then he might get a 10-minute cameo. Most of the time, he had to come on when we were losing. The last thing you want for a brand new player in a brand new league is to come on and into a losing game and have to make an immediate flip. 100%. So look, with Sancho, even though we lost our Watford game, he was our spark that game. That was probably one of his best games, and obviously he backed that right up midweek in the Champions League, man of the match performance. So I'm really hoping we see a little bit of that shine on the weekend against Chelsea.
No, for sure, man. Look, and then as the season progressed, I don't know about you guys, us fans that are non-Man United fans, we could see, like they got names, but it's not, they don't play as a team. It's very disjointed. And then soon we started seeing the bad run where I think, what is it with you guys now in the Premier League? 4 points out of
21 more, 24. I think it's nearly 4 from 21 or something. Yeah.
That's insane, man. That's insane. I want to ask you, Rob, any other club, Ole Gunnar Solskjær was gone. 2 months ago gone. 2 months ago. In fact, probably doesn't even get this season. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's too much of a big investment that we've made. You don't even get this season. I want to ask you, Rob, did it come to a point anywhere where in the fan base, did you guys think that, what's going on here? Why are we pursuing with this guy? Like, he's taken us as far as he could. What is going on? Like, did it make sense to you to hanging on with Ole Gunnar Solskjær? You could see it miles away that this guy's tactically just not up to the levels of Pep, Tuchel, Klopp. You need to be competing, right? I mean, did it get to that situation in the fan base that what's going on? Do you know what I mean?
Well, look, the fan base, I have to say, is pretty much split down the middle because you're just going to have your real loyal ones. Obviously, Ole is a legend to them. They're going to be with him to the day. If we got relegated, there's still going to be a percentage of people that are still going to back him as a legend. They're going to just sing his name every week, no matter what. But then you're going to get the people that, there's been quite a lot of people from nearly day dot that just didn't want him in for some of the reasons that you wanted. Look, me, I was happy. Like I said, I have seen progression over the couple of years since he's taken charge. And I think he's done a lot of good in the club. That's why I was continuously backing him to probably about 6 weeks ago. For him to come in and inherit Jose's team, which was very all over the place, a very unhappy team. He got rid of a lot of dead wood. He's bringing in a lot of youth players, which is a big thing at United. And the transfer windows he's had, he has brought in a lot of quality players. Yes, we haven't been getting the tune out of those players, but No one can say right now he's left the club in nowhere near a bad situation. For someone else to come in, take the baton, they should be able to. There's a lot of potential to go to the next level
Yeah.
now. So for
Your
me,
team's quality, man. Your team's quality.
on paper or on FIFA paper, this is is a great squad. And I said
Yeah.
it's only been up until probably that Liverpool. For me, it was the Aston Villa game when we lost at home 1-0. That was a real turning point. That wasn't long after the young boys' defeat. And no matter what anyone says, yes, it's a football game, but you've got to go out there and you've got to win those games. Right? No matter the situation, no matter if there's 10 men, you've got to adapt and you've got to think. And look, that's what Ollie's been found out. His tactics, and for me, another big flaw is his lack of rotation. He had his favorites, and he was very stubborn. No matter what your form was, I'm saying now this year, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, and the famous McFred in midfield. No matter how
the famous McFred.
No matter how bad they play, you would know that they're nearly the first name on the team sheet the week after. And when you have the likes of Donny van der Beek that you bought for 40 million, Jadon Sancho that you spend 75
It's criminal, man. It's criminal.
Not only just that, you go back last year when we didn't get Sancho, we're spending $40 million on a 19-year-old Ahmed that came in from Atalanta, and he went straight into the under-23s. We bought Palestri that pretty much went straight out on loan. So we've spent all this money that we haven't even seen yet just because we didn't get Sancho. We finally got him and we didn't play him. So just stuff like that. That's a big flaw in his plan that just didn't work for him.
100%. We're going to talk about a couple of the players that are a bit of a concern for me down the track. But obviously, Ole is now sacked, right? And this is what I want to talk about. For some reason, you guys didn't sack Michael Carrick and Fletcher and all. They've still hung around. That in itself was a bit of a joke because many people and many streams, like I watch a lot of like Man United content makers, and they've been saying, Ole's apparently categorically come out many a times in the press conference that I don't train the players. I'm the manager. I don't train them. Carrick and Fletcher and all, they train them.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, well, when he got sacked, I was like, man, you just threw this guy under the bus. Like you kept all of those guys there that were training the people, and you threw this guy under the bus.
I think the main reason for that is, like I said, they had no plan B. Right? Like I said, they had the perfect opportunity against Liverpool and then, of course, against City before an international break to pull the trigger. They didn't. And then we got the unexpected result against Watford. And then they're like, hey, we can't do this anymore. They had to sack him. What are you going to do when there's a game in the Champions League 2 days later? You can't sack everyone. There's got to be someone that's got to take – someone's got to put a lineup in it. Someone's got to be in the dugout. So, look, I think they've just said, obviously.
I reckon Ronaldo would have taken up. Ronaldo was like, I'm the captain now.
Hard. But look, someone did have to pick a team sheet that day. Someone did have to be in the dugout for the team. And it's the same this weekend against Chelsea. The thing that I said they've got to the next game, the Arsenal game, for them to be gone, or for at least for someone to be named, even if they're just in the crowd, to know that, hey, these guys are out. Because then a lot of people will run in the risk. Hey, we could beat Chelsea this weekend, and people are going to start saying, Carrick,
give him a 5-year contract.
Yeah, and that was what was scaring me, man. Because with our board, honestly, mate, that was sacking Ole was only half the job. The next guy or the next decision was what I was mainly scared of. So look, at the moment, obviously we'll bring him up when you're ready, but. Ralf Rangnick, I think that's actually a decent appointment for interim, but we'll go on about that soon.
Yeah, look, let's transition into that. I think it's perfect, and then we'll talk about the players that I wanted to talk about. Ralf Rangnick is the name that's been popped up in recent times. I think I don't know about I don't know the inside details of Man United, but the names that were sort of up in the air was Brendan Rodgers' name was getting thrown around a lot. And then you had Zinedine Zidane, obviously was getting thrown around a lot. Ralf Rangnick, I don't know, you can shed some light. Where did this come from? Like left field a little bit? I mean, it kind of makes sense to me. He's going to build some sort of a philosophy, I feel.
Look, we were linked to him around 2019. Apparently, we're talking. But look, since then, nothing's really come. This has kind of come out of the blue for myself. And like I said, I think we've been linked to every manager available lately. I've heard Valverde. I've heard about a million other names as well. I was like, look, as I've said, I don't want Brendan Rodgers, so I'm hoping he falls down. I don't think Zidane's interested in the job, both for the Premier League and maybe for family issues. As I've said publicly now, I would like to have Pochettino, but this morning when I woke up and found out the news...
Do you know what, Rob? Let's talk a little bit about that. This is an interesting one. You said Pochettino. I'm thinking, I'm not sure if he does well for your team because I feel like he's the kind of manager, and I could be wrong here, and it could be just because I'm looking at PSG now. I feel he likes a team like Southampton. He likes a team like Spurs, where there's not too many big names. When he's given the big names like your PSGs with Neymar, Mbappe, and
They're next
Messi,
level. They're next level names, but come on, give him a little bit. So,
Man
the same
United,
with
Cristiano Ronaldo, come on.
Yeah, but Tommy Tuchel was the same but even without Messi there. Everyone that goes with Leonardo there, everyone that goes there, we've heard all the stories that no one enjoys managing that team. It's like they just, that team runs themselves, or Leonardo says, yeah, you just pick the team pretty much and we'll do the rest. It's true. That's how it is. And it's not a coincidence that people like Tommy Tuchel come to England and Chelsea and won and the players perform. So, look, I like Pochettino because I think he does fit the bill for United in the ethos of the club. He does like to play with youth players. He does like to attack. I just think that he would come in. He would say, "Yeah, okay, this is a bigger step than PSG as well." Because
do you reckon it'll be a good combination with him and Ronaldo? Like, I feel like that could be a bit of that's always an issue.
It's going to be Ronaldo's going to be an issue like that for no matter who manages him. He's going to be like that for everyone. So, and we have to think a little bit long term as well. Ronaldo's going to be there for this year, next year. We might see a third season. We don't know. So you can't rely everything around about Ronaldo. It's the same with Cavani. He's probably not going to be here next year. So you come in and we've got the likes of your Mason Greenwood, your Jadon Sancho, your Rashford, etc., etc. They're the players that we're going to be building a future around. They're the young ones. Ronaldo, he's there right now. We want someone to get the best out of him and perform, obviously. But you're not going to come in and just work everything around him.
No, man, well said. Going back to now Ralf Rangnick. Obviously, we've heard what you had to say about Pochettino. Ralf Rangnick, looks like this is happening because Athletic has come out and said this is happening. It may not be announced before the Chelsea game. It may happen after. Tell me how you feel about this. The fact that Ralph's coming in, he's going to have that. He knows the German coaches back to front, man. Your Klopps, your Tuchel, they're all his students. Do you know what I mean? He knows these bad boys, how they operate. He's going to be able to most likely bring in that pressing, counter-pressing, high intensity, get you guys play from the front foot as opposed to the back foot. I mean, how are you feeling about that scenario? Do you know what I mean?
Look, my first thought is it's a big challenge because at the moment, if you look on stats, we're the worst running team and worst pressing team in the league. We are. And I'm just stating facts. So, look, it excites me that someone's going to come in. And again, that was something with Ole. In 3 years, no one could still say what his style was. Week to week, he'd change. Week to week. At least this guy, like I said, look, I can't say I've watched all of his football when he was at Leipzig and Salzburg. But obviously, when you sign a new player, you like to do a bit of a look into him. As soon as I woke up this morning and seen the links, I've been on YouTube. I've been listening to interviews with him. And look, he says, I've got a philosophy in my head. And a manager's job is to get my picture in my head and put it onto the field or make the players believe in that. So, I think, look, we're not going to see within a week or two, we're going to see everything happening, beautiful rainbows and stuff. But it excites me that we've got someone like him, experienced. He looks like he's someone that's going to take charge and say, hey, this is the way I want to play and play that way. That's why I respect someone like, for instance, a Klopp. He's got his mentality. I want to play this week, no matter who we're playing. We're playing a 4-3-3. I want to play my high press. I want to play attacking, heavy metal football.
My brand of football.
Exactly. Whatever their brand of football is, they implement it and that's the risk they take. We're going this way, my way or the highway kind of thing. So look, I'm thinking this guy, I'm hoping we're going to get the best out of him for 6 months, which is what it's supposed to be 6 months and a possible 2 years when he moves upstairs for a director of football role, which is a big thing for us. Because we've never had a director of football at United. We've got no footballing brains upstairs when you have Woody.
It's just empty up there. It's empty.
True. And look, that's the thing. We need to start looking into people like your Chelsea systems or your Leipzigs and all that. Because this guy here, he's come from there. And like I said, German coaches at the moment, there's like Italian coaches back 10 years ago. Everyone wanted them. I think the last 3 Champions Leagues have been won by German coaches as well. Not to say we're going to win the Champions League, but it's just to say this guy's got a philosophy. I think he's going to implement it quite quick, hopefully.
Nah, for sure, man. All right, let's talk about some of these players. Moving into this Chelsea game right now, this weekend coming up, Monday morning for us. Few players I want to talk about. Bruno Fernandes, number 1. For me, I've got to be honest, Rob. This player, I know you Man United fans love him a lot. He's the legend, this, that, he's a superstar and all that. I've never seen him show up in a big match. And I hope I don't jinx it now. He just all of a sudden he shows up against us. But honestly, I've watched quite a few Man United big time matches in the last couple of seasons. This guy just disappears, man. He's nowhere to be seen. But even more so now with Ronaldo in and around him, it's almost like he's sort of like the Robin to the Batman. Do you know what I mean? So I want to talk about Bruno. What's your full thoughts about Bruno? Do you feel like he's a big game player? Because I don't see much from him. His stat pads against all the other teams, like he'll brush them aside. Big time matches, I just don't feel it, man.
Well, look, I can't argue because I can't argue the stats. He hasn't turned up. He hasn't got all the stats in big games. And look, that's obviously not a positive for us. But look, I think at the end of the day, you can never base around one player. As Chelsea, a perfect example again with Chelsea, that team works like clockwork. The whole team just moves as a unit. The whole team is a unit at the moment. If you're going like our form and nearly the whole team is just debacling everywhere, you can't expect. Look, and I know that's only of recent form, but he has carried us since he has signed with us. He has carried us.
He has carried
right up that ladder for 2.5 seasons now. Yes, he might not score or get assists or be that leader in every single big game, but look, if you go through everyone with a fine-tooth comb, there's not a lot of those players out there. You get, your De Bruyne's or something like that are going to do it every time. But again, I'll take Lukaku, mate. He hasn't got a great record against big teams either, man. And no, from a United fan, trust me, I know that he'd always bully and get a double or a hat trick against a smaller club. And I think in the time when he was with us, I think the only big six he scored against was Chelsea. So it's just players are on and off, man. If United's on that day, or if we score an early goal and we have a little bit of confidence and unlock a bit of space, we might see the best of him come out.
No, for sure, man. Well said. I mean, obviously, there's a bit of banter over there, but we'll see what happens, what Bruno does. Next player I want to talk about is Cristiano Ronaldo, Rob. I'm a big Cristiano fan. You know, when that announcement was happening, I was having streams left, right, and center about Cristiano Ronaldo. My childhood, and I'm pretty sure your childhood as well as growing up, like as youngsters in the 20s, early 20s and whatnot, it was all about Cristiano Ronaldo growing up and watching him. You know what I mean? Like those Man United days, the Real Madrid days, especially the Real Madrid days were unbelievable. And then obviously goes on to do madness in Juventus as well. But Rob, I feel like he's a legend of the game, no doubt. And he's still banging in goals for you guys. I get that. But in this day and age, that kind of player is a bit of a luxury. And I don't know if if the opposition allows for a luxury like that. Do you know what I mean? Because the opposition these days, 11 players, besides the goalkeeper, every other player is pressing, high intensity, work hard, work rate is out of the world. And when you have from your team one player that doesn't do that, all your other players will have to lift that much more to cover for him. There were some stats, I think, he's the least one, Ronaldo, and then I think it's Lukaku in terms of most presses made and pressures applied. He's like the bottom of the Premier League, which is, I get it, he bangs in goals. But Rob, how do you feel when you sometimes watch him and go, come on, Ronaldo, move, man, press?
That's Ronaldo. Honestly, I have nothing else to say. That's Ronaldo. It's not like we haven't seen him. He didn't press pressed him when he was with us. He didn't press at Real Madrid. He didn't press at Juventus. He's not going to press now. That's not his game to press. He's a clutch player. And that's what we bought him for at the end of the day. If there probably wasn't any City links at the start of this season, do you think he would have been there?
By the way, was he in the plan? Because I feel like he wasn't in the plan.
No way he was in the plan. Jadon Sancho was supposed to be our big marquee, getting the number 7, you see. Yeah. Well, as soon as, of course, everyone jumped at the thought when he was linked to our biggest rivals. Can you imagine he went there and won the Premier League there?
To the City,
That would be a knife in the heart. So, look, that was just a reactionary signing. But, look, no Man United fan was ever going to complain when we signed him. Like I said, I'm still buzzing. I'm going to enjoy every moment we've seen him. Back in the Premier League, number 1, but back in my club, number 2. And like I said, he's at his age. He's still delivering, right? He's still wearing.
What is it? 5 goals in the Champions League out of the 5 matches?
6 in 5.
That's unbelievable.
He has missed the Champions League. But like I said, when any club, when Ronaldo is available or Messi is available, are you not going to not sign them when you have the opportunity, especially for the money it was peanuts. So you're always gonna, and with the backing that you got before that, when you got, like I said again, your Varane,
And let's face it, Rob, it was a mad marketing plan as well. Like the money,
100%. It's gonna sell shirts. It's gonna get bums on seats. You can't even get into Old Trafford at the moment just to see him, no matter how bad our form is. So, and look, that's just our marketing. That's the only thing we're good at in the last few years is our marketing. That's
you guys are number one. If there was a marketing table, you're leading. You're winning that.
What do you think Ed Woodward does, mate? He's not a footballing man. He's a banker, and that's all he. As long as he picks those numbers and gets those dollars, mate, that's job done for them.
No, absolutely, man. Rob, honestly, you've been an absolute blast of a guest. I'm loving it, man. Rob, this is the lineup. I asked, ladies and gentlemen, to get Rob's predicted lineup for Man United against Chelsea. This is the lineup that Rob has come up with. Cristiano Ronaldo, the bad boy CR7 up front, Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, Fernandes just behind, McTominay, McFred, ladies and gentlemen, look out for McFred. Gonna do some madness at Stamford Bridge. Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Bay, Lindelof, De Gea. Rob, how you feeling, man? How you feel? You think this team ready for the smoke that Chelsea's about to bring? Look, I think Lukaku could get some minutes off the bench, but if I was to give you a predicted lineup just off the back of my mind now, not really thinking about it too much, obviously Chilwell's injured. I think we're going to go with obviously Mendy. We're going to go with Reece James. We're going to go with the back three of Rudiger, quite possibly Christensen. We'll see if Silva plays. That'll be 3 games in a row, which will be mad. Chalobah in the left side, most likely Alonso. In the middle, you'll have Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek because Kante is a bit of a injury suspect there. And then up front, we'll have Callum Hudson-Odoi, Hakim Ziyech, most likely because he's now had 2 back-to-back great games, and quite possibly Christian Pulisic again. If not, could be Timo Werner. I think Timo Werner and maybe Mason Mount coming off the bench. So do you think this team is ready to combat?
Look, for starters, let me clear it up. You asked for a predicted lineup, so this is what I think we will see. It's not the team that I would pick, but look, regardless of the situation, I do think we will see this lineup, and I think that this team is just going to be like, let's not concede. I can see these guys sitting back a lot and trying to frustrate Chelsea.
Do you reckon just sit deep, low block?
I really think they, mate, even though we're leaky as, I think they're going to try their best to frustrate Chelsea as much as possible and possibly play on the counter attack with our pace. I mean, you got Rashford and Sancho and obviously Ronaldo there. I can't say anything else than that. I can't see our midfield is nothing compared to your midfield.
Yeah.
And this is a game where I think whoever wins the midfield will definitely win. I can just see you guys having all the possession. You guys obviously a lot more stronger on set pieces. So there's not a lot going for us. And considering that, and a lot of people keep saying the new manager bounce. Number one, we haven't got a new manager.
You don't have a new manager.
We've got Michael Carrick and the rest of the coaching staff, which, like we said before, are the ones that actually train and coach the team. So I don't see nearly anything that's going to change. And if they did change that much, it's pretty much like a knife in Ole's back saying, if you're an assistant coach and you're help picking the team and agreeing with the main manager, and for him to walk out and pick a completely different team the week after,
that's dirty.
That's
dirty.
Crazy. So that's not going to happen. Look, he's picked the 4-2-3-1 midweek, and we got a result. The only difference is obviously it was notable that Rashford and Fernandes didn't start that game. It was Martial off the left, and it was Donny got in the 10. And then our game changed when those 2 players came on. They did make a big difference. So I'm thinking it'll be pretty much the exact opposite swap here. Fernandes and Rashford should start, and I do think we'll see the Donny and possibly a Martial come off the bench.
Yeah.
Do I like that we're going to have a McFred in midfield? Definitely not. Especially McTominay. I'm not a massive fan. I'm not a big fan of both of them, to be honest. If I had my way, I'd like to see a 4-3-3. I'd like to see with a 6 and 2 8s being the 2 8s being Donny and Fernandes. Donny and Fernandes, and possibly having Matic at a 6. Because I'm a big fan of Matic. Yes, he's getting older. Yes, he maybe hasn't got the legs, but he's got the football in mind. Like I always say, I wish we had him 3, 4, 5
and he can play the
ago.
6, man. He can play the 6.
Definitely,
easy.
He can play the 6. But like I said, I do not see us going for a 4-3-3. I don't see us having a go at Chelsea. I see us trying to frustrate and kill on a break. That's our best solution. If we can get an early goal, I think it could be an interesting, entertaining game. But I think this is just going to be damage control. Trying, like I said, if we can get a result here, that's a massive thing. Considering how much you guys are flying and how low we are in the mud at the moment, it's look, it hurts me to say it, but it's such a
I can see it, man. I can see you're like sinking inside.
Go back a month ago and I told everyone this month is going to give me nightmares. We've had everyone just back to back. We've City, we've had Liverpool, we've had Spurs, we're going to play you guys. We've got Arsenal next week. I'm like, mate, for the form we're coming in before that, you could see that the writing was on the wall. So look, at the end of the day, it's a football game. And we have got Cristiano Ronaldo. He hasn't got the best record also against Chelsea, and we haven't got the best record at the Bridge. But it's a football game and anything can happen. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Nah, 100%. I think I have to agree with you, man. I can only imagine you guys holding back and sitting deep, because I can't imagine you guys actually playing possession football, because you don't have the fundamentals to do that at the moment. You don't pass the ball around well enough. Your biggest chance in this game, as you said, Rob, sit deep, be tight as possible. I don't know. I can't see how Shaw, Bailly and Lindelof... I don't know how you guys are going to keep us away. Like, honestly, I don't know how you're going to keep us away.
Look, but Bailey's, it's rocks or diamonds with him. He can have a cracker game. He can defend. He can have the best game, or he can score our own goal in the first 10 minutes.
Or a red card.
Exactly. That's how he is. It's game to game with him. He can have a super game or can be the complete opposite. So, again, we'll have to wait and see.
Nah, 100%. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This was the opposition analysis. Honestly, Rob, this was so much fun. I guess it's fun because I've got that swagger.
Fun for me. This is painful for me. Look, I've even bring my Lukaku doll. I'm going to get the little pins out soon and hopefully start doing some voodoo magic or something.
Look, I was really hoping Lukaku would feature heavily in this game, because this is a match that I was hoping that Lukaku was going to get some sort of vendetta. But I think Lukaku may come off the bench. I don't know if he's ready to start, but we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, let us know what your thoughts are. Rob obviously has given us the lowdown on everything about Man United, Ole, fans, reaction, Ralf Rangnick, the lineup and the lot. Rob's also given us the score prediction. He sort of thinks it's 2-0 our way, but we'll see what happens. If you've enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe and hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Do make sure to check out part 2 of this preview, where Chelsea's side of the story will be told, and I'm probably going to have a particular guest. We'll see who it is. But Rob, thank you so much for your time, my man, and do appreciate this. I hope to bring you on back again sometime, whether it be for Man United reasons, or I don't know, whether Juve down the track, if we end up seeing them again. I don't know if we will in the Champions League. You never know. You never know how far we can go and how far Juve goes. But we'll see. Rob, honestly, thank you, my man. It's been a pleasure. Any last sort of words that you want to say before you go?
Nah, pleasure is always to be here. I'd love to wish you luck for the weekend, but I won't. I'd love to hopefully get a result. I'll take a draw now. I'm just saying, beware if we get a result here, because for all the lead up to this and all the Ollie this and Ollie that, and you guys are high flying, and I'm telling you,
we have to beat you. We have to beat
Twitter. If we win, just go offline for a little bit.
I'm deleting. I'm deactivating.
Nah, look, once again, all serious note, thank you again. And look, all the best for the game on the weekend. Hope it's a good, entertaining game.
Nah, 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, do tune in for the watch along for that. I'll be doing a watch along. It's going to be mad. All right, ladies, everyone, hope you guys have a very good day. Until next time.
Ciao.